There's a lot being written recently about collective intelligence, collective behaviour. I'm thinking here about James Surowiecki's Wisdom of Crowds, Tapscott, Wikinomics, a whole range of books about collaborative practice of one sort or another, and the various strategies that are employed to aggregate a diversity of opinion and idea such that this aggregation works in ways which are, well, wise is the word they use, or intelligent, or possessing some kind of applied relationship to knowledge. I think I've just been thinking about why a crowd would be called wise in that sense, and why conversely a crowd might be called stupid, and then latterly how those terms might relate to entertainment. I guess I was prompted to think about this because one of the students in one of my classes the other day, when I was talking about this, had some problems with the word stupid. We never really got to the bottom of why that particular word was a problem, but it certainly got me thinking. And I suppose if I'd had the time to think about it on the hoof, I would have said that stupid in this context means incapable of complex behaviour, whereas wise or intelligent suggests the capacity to have or perform or engage in complex behaviour. And if I'd been asked to describe what complex behaviour meant, or what constituted the complexity, how one might measure the complexity of behaviour, I would have had to talk about the extent to which that behaviour is describable in language or rules or instructions, that kind of thing. Simple behaviour can be expressed in a very small set of lines of code, so to speak. If you were to write a subroutine for a piece of behaviour that was simple, it wouldn't take up very many lines of code, whereas complex behaviour would take a much greater set of instructions to capture. So stupid behaviour, a stupid crowd, is not capable of performing complex behaviour, whereas a wise crowd is capable of that. And some of the examples I was talking about in that context were, in terms of wise crowds, things which counterintuitively don't appear to be wise when you're part of them. Shoppers on Oxford Street at Christmas time, or people trying to get into a tube at 5 o'clock on the underground, which feels chaotic and feels anything but pleasant. But nevertheless, it does seem, as a crowd, it seems to be exhibiting very complex behaviour. Lots of people are managing to get to the shops they want to get to. Lots of people are managing to get onto the tube. Those tubes are leaving. Doors are closing. Objects are being bought. People are getting home with parcels. So very complex behaviour is being produced, which would be very, very difficult to define as a set of instructions, even though it doesn't feel like it when you're part of it. Simple behaviour produced by a stupid crowd would be, I guess, something like the behaviour of crowds at football matches or at rock concerts, that kind of thing, which paradoxically feel great to be part of. But certainly at concerts I've been to, I don't go to football matches much. I've been to a few concerts when I was younger, and I think it's pretty fair to say that the most complex behaviour a crowd at a rock concert could do is probably holding up a lighter, or maybe jumping up and down, rhythmically. And I suppose for a football match, the equivalent would be performing a Mexican wave, which is, by crowd standards, a highly choreographed action, but again, pretty much describable in just a couple of lines of natural language. So those are how those are how I'm thinking of wise crowds and stupid crowds. But how they relate to entertainment is really to do what I've already said about, I guess, pleasure or something like that, or the experience of being involved in those things. Certainly it's more pleasant and more entertaining to be at a football match or at a rock concert than it is at my dog's seen the dog TV guy, a tube or an Oxford Street. And I'm reminded here again of the etymology of entertainment, which means to hold mutually. So when you're in those kind of communal situations, even though as a crowd you're behaving stupidly, the experience is one of being held mutually and of being entertained, of feeling part of a greater purpose, even if that purpose is incredibly dim. Whereas being part of a wise crowd is not very entertaining at all, quite a lot of the time. And I guess in that sense, it's probably not necessarily a good idea to trust one's individual instincts in judging how wise a crowd is. If you're in a situation you're not enjoying yourself, that's not necessarily an indicator that what the crowd that you're part of is doing is stupid. On the other hand, if you are in a situation in which you're enjoying yourself, you're at a show or you're at a sporting event, and you do feel caught up in the moment and swept along with the emotions of the crowd, it's quite likely, it seems to me, that the crowd that you're part of is not a smart one.